Hare Krishna. Welcome to the Bhagavad Gita series. Sorry we were not able to meet last week. We will continue with chapter 11 today. I will start with Mangalacharan prayers. So I will share the screen. Audio is clear?
Yes, sir.
Om Jnanatimirandhasya Jnananjana-shalakaya Chakshurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. Shri Chaitanya Manobhishtam Sthapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupah Kada Mahyam Dadati Swapadantikam Vandeham Shri Guru Shri Yutah Padkamalam Shri Gurun Vaishnavamscha Shri Rūpam Sagrajatam Sahagana Raghunathan Vitam Tam Sajivam Sadvaitam Savadhutam Parijana Sahitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Padan Sahagana Lalita Shri Vishakhan Vitamscha Namam Vishnu Padaya Krishna Presthaya Bhutale Srimate Bhakti Vedanta Swami Niti Namine Namaste Saraswati Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Paschatya Desha Tarine He Krishna Karuna Sindho Deenabandho Jagatpate Gopesha Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namostute Tapta Kanchana Gaurangi Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Vrishabhanu Sute Devi Pranamami Hari Priye Vanchakalpatarubhyascha Kripa Sindhubhya eva cha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha Jaya Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Srivasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Ram Hare Hare श्रीमद् भगवद गीता की जय जगत गुरु श्रील प्रभुपाद की जय हरे कृष्णा all right, welcome to Bhagavad Gita series. We are continuing to march along and we will start with chapter 11 today. So one of the longer chapters in the Bhagavad Gita, 55 verses. Chapter title is Vishwarupa Darshan Yoga, or the universal form. So this chapter is in general divided into three main sections. You can say four main sections, but three main sections. One is the universal form. That I said can be divided into two: Arjuna's request and Krishna showing the universal form. So one larger section is Lord Krishna's universal form. Then the second important section is in which a lot of, actually I can probably just show this slide, which is basically also the essence, but I'll cover this. Arjuna's prayers towards Lord Shri Krishna upon seeing the universal form. So it reveals several concepts. Arjuna's reaction, we will see, we will understand a few important concepts from there as to what happens to Arjuna, what he speaks upon seeing the universal form. And the last section is where Lord Krishna describes the absolute rarity or significance of seeing Krishna. We will see sort of another, I had heard before I came to Srila Prabhupada's ISKCON and got to know. I had heard a little bit about universal form, but I did not know that Lord Krishna also shows his Narayan form many, many, many years ago. And that's hidden in this whole 11th chapter. Lord Krishna also shows his Narayan form to Arjuna and speaks about the rarity of seeing any of the forms, whether it is the universal form, Narayan form, or Krishna form. And within those, the rarity of seeing Krishna form, the sweetness of Krishna's form is extremely rare. And what should we do upon seeing that form? What is our duty, or what is Krishna is speaking his heart? So, like I said, in the 9th chapter and 10th chapter, Krishna is not holding himself back. He is revealing his heart, that what does he want? He has shown Arjuna what he wanted. So the chapter begins with a request by Arjuna, and the chapter ends with, you can say, a request by Krishna. So Krishna fulfills Arjuna's request and then makes a request of his own, that what should we do as devotees upon knowing or seeing Krishna's various forms, the universal form, the Narayan form, and the Krishna form. So in that sense, it's a very beautiful chapter, and we will go through it. I don't know how much we will be able to finish today. It's a long chapter, but the first section, which is the universal form, we will go through a little bit more quickly, and a little bit slower we'll go through Arjuna's prayers, and then my intent. And for all the commentaries also, you can also judge by the size of the commentaries on the various verses. The commentaries get longer and longer as we go towards the later verses, which means that there's a lot more to contemplate or to learn and internalize from the third section, second section more so, and a lot from the third section of the Bhagavad Gita. So of this chapter, I need to be interrupted a little bit today, so give me 1 second. Yeah, sorry about that. So we will okay. So the essence of chapter 11, let's see what I missed. So Arjun wants to see the Lord's full manifestation in the material world. So we have just come out of chapter 10. How chapter 11 is connected to the rest of Bhagavad Gita is the following. If you remember, in 9.15, everybody has their Bhagavad Gitas in front. Yeah, so when I say 9.15, it will be too hard for me to move my slides back. So best is if you can just flip, for those that have the Bhagavad Gita in front, you can flip back to 9.15, where Lord Krishna says that Jnana Yagyena Chapanye Yajanto Mam Upasate Ekatvena Prithaktvena Bahudha Vishwato Mukham. So he mentioned that those who are on either there are asuras or Shuddha Bhaktas. They are the two extremes. And in between, there are the Jnanis And among those, there are various categories. Those who worship the impersonal, non-dual Brahman, ekatvena, and then prithatvena, the various devatas that had been discussed in 9th chapter itself. Ekatvena will be discussed a little bit in chapter 12. The devatas had been discussed in chapter 9 itself. And chapter 11 is Vishwato Mukham. This universal form is now being discussed here. And coming out of 10th chapter, where Arjuna wanted to see the vibhutis or the opulences of the Lord, now Arjuna is, Srila Prabhupada writes here that in the purport of verse number 3, I will just read it, that Arjuna has no special desire to see Krishna in his universal form, for Arjuna is completely satisfied to see him in his personal form of Krishna. And in verse number 1 of the 11th chapter, the last line, Krishna says, Moho ayam vigato mama. So vigataha means to be completely removed. So whatever illusion, if at all he had any, he didn't have any illusion to begin with anyway, but if at all he had any illusion or doubts about who is Krishna, all those have been completely removed. He's already saying that in the get-go as a beginning to, in the beginning before he even frames his question or request to see the universal form. So it's not to obtain any proof or more conviction as to who is Krishna. So this means that Arjuna at this point is on a roll. He is like a kid in a candy store, or as somebody said, kid in Legoland. You can't just have enough. You see one exhibit and then you want to run to the other one and you want to come back to the first one, and you're like, you can't decide which one is better. So in the 10th chapter also, Arjuna expresses this mood that I just want to continuously listen about you. I want to hear and see and understand more and more about you, because that gives me full satisfaction. So it is not to clear any doubts or any confusion that Arjuna has. It's very clear that Arjuna is making these requests to see Krishna in various forms simply out of his deep absorption in Krishna, his love for Krishna. And he wants to see his beloved Krishna in various forms. Like if you are a fan of a movie star, you want to see all his movies, whether it's a comedy or a tragedy or an action movie or thriller. Just because that actor is there, it doesn't matter what kind of role he or she is playing. You want to see him in all possible roles and relish the various roles that that person is playing. So similarly, Krishna is present in the material world. Now, the Srimad Bhagavatam also says that this universal form is not completely real, because Krishna is completely detached from anything material. Material energy, the material world is Krishna's energy. So that point needs to be understood a little bit more deeply. But for now, we will just say that Krishna is showing his manifestation in the material world. One sec, I need one more interruption. Sorry about that. Just taking care of some personal matters. Urgent. So, where were we? What was the last thing we were discussing?
Arjuna want to see Krishna in for full satisfaction.
Yes. And then,
The universal form of Krishna is not his real form.
And
yes.
it's not complete.
Yes, correct. So Krishna, the material world is Krishna's energy. But for now, we will just say that Arjun wants, thank you everyone. Arjun wants to see the Lord in full in all his forms, and the Lord said that I am supporting this material world. Sutre Manigana Iva. So I am like I am the supporter, which means that he is not directly this material world, but he is supporting it. So still he wants to see Krishna in the material world. And Krishna also says, Aham sarvasya prabhavo mattah sarvam pravartate. So everything comes from me. So the material world is also coming from Krishna. And he wants to see the material world as it is coming from Krishna. So the Lord is going to show the full awe and shock form in full glory, in a dazzling glory, the material world to Arjuna. And then Arjuna regrets making this request. He is completely horrified on seeing this universal form because it's not easy to take in. It is just too much dazzling, too ghastly for Arjuna to take in this universal form's sight. So we will see this in Arjuna's reaction, and the Lord gives a very important message at this point as to why he showed this universal form. It's not like the Lord just showed the universal form because Arjuna asked. That is true. Lord fulfills all wishes of a devotee. At the same time, it is said that the Lord is the ultimate permitter. So we can make a request and the Lord can decline. So the fact that the Lord went ahead, Krishna went ahead with the vision of the universal form to Arjuna includes his permission or his sanction, saying that, yes, you made this request. It's a good request. I will sanction it and I will show you. So we can also say that that even though there was Arjuna's desire to see it, there was also Lord Krishna's desire to show it. So both sides, there was a desire. So why does Lord Krishna show the universal form to Arjuna? That is also important to understand. And we will see Arjuna's reaction, and several nice concepts will be revealed there. And then finally, we will understand the significance of seeing Lord Krishna in his various forms. In this chapter, we will see Krishna in two new forms, the universal form and the Narayan form. And of course, the Krishna form has already been there all along. So 3 total forms of Krishna are seen in this chapter. And especially Lord Krishna will focus on the point that what is the significance of seeing Krishna's form and Krishna Bhakti. I think I had a pop-up here. No. Okay. Here. Significance of seeing the original form of Krishna, his two-handed form, not his universal form, not the Narayan form, but the Krishna two-handed form, and the significance of Krishna Bhakti. So that is the essence of this chapter. These are some of the various sections in this chapter. Just make a note of it. And am I sharing? Yes, looks like. So the first 8 verses are Arjuna's request and Krishna's response. In the 8th verse, Lord Krishna grants Arjuna divine vision so that he can see the universal form. And then there are many verses. How many are there? 9 through 31. How many is that? I don't know, 23 maybe. So 23 verses of description of the universal form. So 23 is a pretty big number. There are many chapters which are smaller than that. Chapter 12 and 15 are both smaller than 23 verses. They are 20 each. So that's almost one chapter size description of the universal form, of which the first 6 verses are by Sanjay, and then the sort of the scene transitions to Arjuna himself describing what he is seeing in the next 17 verses, 15 through 31. So 17 and 6. And then comes a very important message by Lord Krishna in 32 to 34, these 3 verses, as to why he shows the universal form to Arjuna. And then we have 12 verses, 35 to 46, of Arjuna's prayers in awe and reverence mood. And we will see some concepts that come out of that. And then Lord Krishna shows his Narayan form, and there is a whole conversation. Lord Krishna describes the rarity of seeing him in any form. So all that is covered in the last, 9 verses. So that's how the chapter flows. Okay, so let's continue with the first section, 8 verses, and see what Arjuna wants to ask Krishna. So I'll read the English translations. At some points we'll go into the Sanskrit, very important. But since we want to go a little fast through this chapter, especially till 31, 1 through 31, we will go a little fast. We will slow down and discuss this significance from Krishna's standpoint, these 3 verses. Then we will go a little slowly through Arjuna's prayers, and we'll go very slowly through the last section where Krishna describes the rarity of seeing his forms. Those last 9 verses or so are one can say from a bhakti standpoint, they are the most important verses of this chapter, the last 9. So one should pay attention to the last 9 verses. All right. Okay, so text number 1. Arjuna said, so I'm just going to read and stop and describe some points, some from Srila Prabhupada's purports, some just explanations, and that's how we will continue till verse number 31. And if you have questions, you can stop at any time and ask, raise your hand, or just I'll keep watching for hands raised. Arjuna said, by my hearing the instructions you have kindly given me about these most confidential spiritual subjects, my illusion has now been dispelled. So Arjuna is clearly saying that my illusion has been dispelled. Moho ayam vigato mama. So moha mama vigato. Illusion or mama moha vigato. My illusion is gone. So it's not for dispelling or any more illusions or confusion or doubts. Verse number 2. O lotus-eyed one, I have heard from you in detail about the appearance and disappearance of every living entity and have realized your inexhaustible glories. So he's summarizing what he has understood so far, that the Lord is, that Krishna is the Supreme Lord. So there is no doubt in his mind. Number 3. So here he says, O greatest of personalities, O supreme form, though I see here before me in your actual position as you have described yourself, I wish to see how you have entered into the cosmic manifestation. I want to see that form of yours. So he's making a very specific request that I want to see how you have entered into the cosmic manifestation. And the Sanskrit that is used there is draṣṭum icchāmi te rūpam, which means that I want to see that rūpa. Icchāmi means I want to. Draṣṭum, see that rūpa, te rūpam, aishvaram purushottama, your aishvara rūpa, your rūpa which is full of awe and reverence, as in your full glory. So Arjuna is aware of Krishna's sweetness. It's not that it is lost on him. He is fully aware of Krishna's sweetness, but he now wants to see the aishvarya form. And that's where Srila Prabhupada writes that he has no personal, I was reading this earlier, he has no personal or special desire to see the universal form. He is completely satisfied. And he is saying this mainly for us, that where is that? But the Lord can understand also that Arjuna wants to see the universal form to convince others. Arjuna did not have any personal desire for confirmation. So this is an important point, and there are many who will say that I am God, or I can become God once my material contamination is removed. That is true, that one can, aham brahma asmi, I am the same Brahman, I am a spirit soul. So there is no problem philosophically with that statement, that qualitatively one is the same as the Supreme Lord. But what this chapter is describing is the immense quantitative difference. So when it is true that when the material contamination is removed, one is the spirit soul, and that spiritual entity is qualitatively no different than the Supreme Lord, because he is also completely spiritual. But still that spiritual entity, that tiny spiritual entity, cannot show the universal form. So that's why Srila Prabhupada is writing here that the people therefore should be careful. One who claims to be Krishna should be prepared to show his universal form to confirm his claim to the people. So this would be a test for being God, to show the universal form. Now, even demons like Rakshasa, Ravana and Hiranyakashipu and others can do very superhuman tasks, like fly, or even, smash big mountains, or do things like that. They will never be able to show the universal form either. Only Bhagavan can do this. So how much ever powerful living entity gets, this is a key test for being Bhagavan. Number 4, if you think, now this is a very important point, Arjuna is not demanding. So very nicely he is putting the request. If you think that I am able to behold your cosmic form, O my Lord, O Master of all mystic power, then kindly show me that unlimited universal self. So he is referring to the Lord as Prabhu, and he is saying that if you think I am eligible, then please show. So he's making a very kind, a very humble, a humble request. He's not demanding. So as a devotee, that should be our mood, that if we say, when will Lord's mercy happen on me? Or, the mood should be that to not demand mercy. That sentence itself is grammatically incorrect. If you demand something, it's no longer mercy. It's what would be a better word? It would be a fulfilling of a demand, so to say. It's not mercy means it happens without your asking, and it also means something that far exceeds your expectations. So that is what Arjuna is making a very humble request. 5th verse. So now Sri Bhagavan Vacha. So that was the first 4 verses, as you can see on the slide, is Arjuna's request, and then Lord Krishna agrees. He is agreeing that Arjuna has the eligibility or adhikar to see the universal form, and he says this. The Supreme Personality of Godhead said, "My dear Arjuna, O son of Pritha, see now my opulences, hundreds of thousands of varied, divine, and multicolored forms." So, Lord Krishna immediately agrees to Arjuna seeing the universal form, which means he is sanctioning it as well. So he could have declined. O best of the Bharatas. So, can anybody say where Krishna declines Arjuna's request because he doesn't sanction it? Now you can say that, yes, I am saying that Krishna is permitting and therefore he goes ahead. What if he really didn't want to show? Show me the proof that Krishna does not agree with Arjuna's request and declines it. Anyone? Okay. Well, one straight up instance is the beginning of the Bhagavad Gita itself. Arjuna says, he puts down his Gandiva bow and says, I will not fight. And what does Krishna say? He doesn't say, okay, if you don't want to fight, I am your chariot driver, tell me which direction to go to get out of this battlefield. He does not do that. So he very clearly declines Arjuna's request. And that is when Arjuna actually asks. So first he declines Arjuna's request. And then in the 2nd verse, that is, and then in the 7th verse, Arjuna ends up asking, what should I do? Please instruct me. So there was a declination by Krishna to Arjuna's request. But that is not the case here. Okay, number 6. O best of the Bharatas, see here the different manifestations of Adityas, Vasus, Rudras, Ashwini Kumaras, and all the other demigods. Behold the many wonderful things which no one has ever seen or heard of before. So another point is that this universal form is the manifestation of the entire cosmic creation, the material cosmic creation in one place. And we will see that in the next verse. Ihaika stham. So Jagat Kritsnam. So at this one place, you are seeing the entire cosmic manifestation. So it is not that all the details of the cosmic manifestation will be seen, everything will be seen here. This is again just like the 10th chapter, some of the major aspects of the cosmic manifestation that are seen and described by Arjuna. It is all present here, but not everything may be visible and obvious to those who are seeing. Only Arjuna is seeing. Srila Prabhupada mentions later that only Arjuna had divine vision, but Arjuna is seeing, and through his description, Sanjaya is the other person who is seeing. He also starts describing the universal form because he also got divine vision through Vyasa. But later on, we see it through the eyes of Arjuna, but not everything is revealed. So even though the entire cosmic manifestation is present, it's not that everything is revealed to the viewer. So at other times, so what the point is that if something is not mentioned, it doesn't mean it doesn't exist. Okay, therefore it is being seen that You will see wonderful things no one has ever seen or heard of before. So if at any other point of time Lord were to show his universal form, then one may see other things. And then one should realize that, yes, the universal form could look slightly different because the Lord shows what he wants to show to his devotee. Seventh, O Arjuna, whatever you wish to see, behold at once in this body of mine. So again, it depends on the mood. Lord Krishna reveals himself to the extent and based upon the mood, or to the extent and his bhava is revealed that is aligned to the mood and attitude of the devotee. So this is one very important concept to understand, that the Lord reveals himself or presents himself in the mood of the devotee. If one wants to see the Lord as the universal form, he will see that. If he wants to see the Lord as the master, he will see the Lord as a master. The Lord will reveal himself in that form, as a parent, as a friend, or as in so many other ways. If you just go to the Lord and ask for material benefits, he may give. And that's what one will see. Oh, the Lord, is just there to provide material benefits. So that's what the Lord will show. So the Lord reveals himself based on the mood and attitude of the devotee. So therefore, it is written here, O Arjuna, whatever you wish to see, behold at once in this body of mine. This universal form can show you whatever you now desire to see and whatever you may want to see in the future. Everything moving and non-moving is here completely in one place. So this verse, one of the main points of this verse is the Lord reveals based on the desire, mood, attitude that is included in the desire, the mood and attitude of the devotee. So that's a very important point to understand. 8th verse, very important. This is the Divya cakshuh verse. But you cannot see me with your present eyes. Therefore, I give you divine eyes. Divyam dadami te cakshuh. So, Divyam dadami te cakshuh. I give you divine eyes. Pashya me yogam aishwaram. Yoga ishwaram. So, in his aishvarya form, his full yoga, in his aishvarya form, he is showing. This is not Preeti yoga. This is aishvarya yoga. Okay, Preeti yoga will come later in the Krishna form. The universal form is the aishvarya yoga. But you cannot see me with your present eyes. Therefore, I give you divine eyes. Behold my mystic opulence. Okay. So, Srila Prabhupada writes here in the Purport one nice point. The playmates of Krishna, the friends of Krishna, and the parents of Krishna never want Krishna to show his opulences. They are so immersed in pure love that they do not even know that Krishna is the Supreme Personality of Godhead. In their loving exchange, they forget that Krishna is the Supreme Lord. So this is in fact one of the points, and later on Srila Prabhupada says, in the Srimad Bhagavatam, it is stated that the boys who play with Krishna are all highly pious souls, and after many, many births, they are able to play with Krishna. But when they are playing with Krishna, they have no knowledge, or they have forgotten, or put it at the complete back of their mind and wrapped it up, packed it, sealed it, that knowledge, and put it on a shelf. So, only after being reminded and, strongly, they may remember, Krishna is also the Supreme Lord. And this is a very important point, and we are going deep into this point over the last few or several weeks in our Bhagavatam classes discussion. And this point is brought out very nicely in chapter number 26 of the 10th canto, titled Wonderful Krishna After Krishna Lifts the Govardhan Hill. And we went through that chapter. And then we are going through another chapter of Varun Dev. where Krishna rescues Maharaj Nanda, his father, from Varuna Dev's, he accidentally happened to catch Nanda Maharaj. And then when Krishna visits there, Nanda Maharaj sees how Varuna is worshipping Krishna, because Varuna Dev knows he's Narayan. He has not forgotten. He's not a Vrajvasi. Nanda Maharaj doesn't know, but Varuna Dev knows. And then Nanda Maharaj is reminded, or not reminded, he kind of, we can say he's reminded. So this whole sort of tension is there in the 10th canto. Do the Vrajvasis know that he is Krishna or not? And to what extent and at what times? And this is the whole beauty of the 10th canto. And this is very important for us as well, because we cannot treat Krishna as an ordinary person. Then what is the difference between Krishna and any other ordinary person that we know, our neighbor, for example? We can start worshipping our neighbor, ask him to come and sit on the altar and we can worship. No. So there is something special about Krishna. But the sweetest form of relationship with Krishna is not in awe and reverence, but in a more personal form, as a friend, as a, as a master, not as a godly master, but as a human master, somebody you like to serve with love. And this is what we learn from the Srimad Bhagavatam 10th canto. So this is a very important point to understand. And Arjuna is in that mood. He's already in the mood of the sweet understanding of Krishna. Now he has taken a aberration, an exception. I want to see your aishvarya form. He does not know what he's getting into. And very soon he will regret and will quickly walk his, कहते हैं हिंदी में क्या बोलते हैं, दुम दबा के भागा. So what will be the English translation? Put his tail between his feet and ran away. Kind of, it's we've seen some National Geographic where there's a bigger animal and the smaller animal, he runs away with his tail, tucked in. So that's what Arjuna will do. He doesn't realize what he's getting into, and he will quickly walk back his request. So Arjuna is in the sweet mood, and that's how he wants to see Krishna. He's taking a risk. He doesn't know what he's getting into, and he's asking to see the Krishna's universal form. The sweeter aspect of vision of Arjuna is higher than this material vision. So our acharyas also say that this Divya cakshuh is actually a downgrade for Arjuna. He was already on a higher platform. It appears though as if he's getting an upgrade, that he cannot see Krishna, the universal form, therefore he needs Divya cakshuh. But from this paragraph that I read from Srila Prabhupada, that the playmates of Krishna, the friends of Krishna, and Arjuna is in the Sakhya Bhav, is in the friendly mood with Krishna. They never want to see the opulences of Krishna. So he needs to now get a downgrade of vision. That is also another meaning of Divya cakshuh. So that's a sweet understanding of this verse. All right, now begins the, let's see what next we have. Yeah. So 9th verse. Okay, fine. So the 9 through 14 are Sanjaya's vision of the universal form. That is 6 verses. And then we will transition into Arjuna's description. Sanjaya said, O king, having spoken thus, the supreme lord of all mystic power, the personality of Godhead, displayed his universal form to Arjuna. So now the universal form display begins. Now what does Arjuna see? Sanjaya is saying, Arjuna saw in that universal form unlimited mouths, unlimited eyes, unlimited wonderful visions. The form was decorated with many celestial ornaments and bore many divine upraised weapons. He wore celestial garlands and garments, and many divine scents were smeared over his body. All was wondrous, brilliant, unlimited, and all expanding. So it starts off nice. Okay, so there's nothing horrible or very ghastly here, but very soon it will turn from this very grand form to a very bhayanak or a very dangerous looking or fierce is a better word, fierce form. If hundreds of thousands of suns were to arise at once into the sky, their radiance might resemble the effulgence of the Supreme Person in that universal form. So the dazzling nature, it was just extremely dazzling, way more stronger than looking at the sun. So I don't know how many of you have ever tried looking into the sun. You should not do that. And there are solar viewing glasses, which are way more stronger than the sunglasses. Using those, you can look at the sun. But this was much, much more effulgent than that. Various nuclear explosions have also occurred on Earth, and scientists or whoever, they look at those with those same solar goggles. It is so dazzling, but also because the distance is closer. So it is as if thousands of such suns had come into one place. Then 13th verse, Tatraikastham Jagat Krishnam Pravibhaktam Anekadha. So at that one place, at that time, Arjuna could see in the universal form of the Lord the unlimited expansions of the universe situated in one place, although divided into many, many thousands. So imagine the entire cosmic manifestation, not just one sun, millions and billions and trillions of suns which are present in the cosmic manifestation or stars, all concentrated into one place. It will be a pretty bright situation. Here in this purport, Srila Prabhupada mentions, others on the battlefield could not see this form because Krishna gave the vision only to Arjuna. And of course, Sanjay is the other one, but at least on the battlefield, it's only Arjuna. Number 14. Last one by Sanjay. Then bewildered and astonished, his hair standing on end, Arjuna bowed his head to offer obeisances with folded hands and began to pray to the Supreme Lord. Okay. So now Arjuna's vision, description by Arjuna of the vision begins. So that is 17 verses. So these can be roughly divided into 4 categories. So vision of the universe, just straight up a description of what Arjuna sees. Okay, so that is 6 verses. Next 4, effect on the universe. What is going on? What is happening out there in that vision? And then next 2 verses, what is the effect on Arjuna? So the vision, the effect on those that are present in they are all getting smashed and killed. That's what is happening. So effect on the universe, how it is burning and getting destroyed. Effect on Arjuna, he's getting scared. And then the vision of the battlefield. What's the the connection between the battlefield and the universal form? Because that is the immediate task or activity, or you can say the objective at hand is to fight the battle. And then finally, Arjuna's question. Now he thought he understood everything. Then he asks, who are you? So a complete 180-degree turn. The first verse begins with saying, I have no doubts. Teacher pushta hai, sab malum hai? Yes, sir, I know everything. Then he throws a tangential question, and then the student wonders, like, wait a minute, I don't know anything. So that is what happens here. It's a little bit of a comedy in that sense, that Arjuna starts by saying, I have no illusion. All my illusion has been destroyed. And then he wonders, who is this person and why is he here? So it goes to say that one should never have the arrogance. Again, Arjuna is not arrogant, but one should not think that one has figured out Krishna fully. Krishna can always trick us. So that's what is coming in the next 4 subsections of this section. So the first one is vision of the universe, 6 verses. Okay. 1 second. Okay. Second. Arjuna said, my dear Lord, so I'm on number 15. Okay. Arjuna said, my dear Lord Krishna, I see assembled in your body all the demigods and various other living entities. I see Brahma sitting on the lotus flower, as well as Lord Shiva and all the sages and divine serpents. O Lord of the universe, O universal form. So here he calls Krishna by the name universal form. Pashyami Vishveshwara Vishwarupa. The last line of 16. He is calling Krishna as Vishwarupa. So, O Lord of the universe, O universal form, I see in your body many, many arms, bellies, mouths, and eyes, expanded everywhere without limit. I see in you no end, no middle, and no beginning. So it's beginning to, the vision is beginning to grow a little scary. Number 17. So I think I have a nice picture here. You can meditate on this picture while I am reading, so you can try to see these various aspects. This is a BBT painting by devotees. So Arjuna is seeing the universal form here. So this painting is created by devotees after reading the chapter. So they've tried to capture some or many of the aspects that are described in the chapter. So it's not some random picture. It's based on the description of Bhagavad Gita. Of course, whatever can be captured in a piece of art. Your form is difficult to see because of its glaring effulgence. So this is a very important point, that when the Lord, when one approaches the Lord without bhakti, one only sees the glaring effulgence, and the form behind that effulgence is not seen. And this point will be clarified very strongly in the Ishopanishad study, which we will do later after Bhagavad Gita. And those who approach the Lord without bhakti, they just get to see the effulgence, and that's all they see. And the effulgence is so bright, it is like a curtain. You can't see the source. It's like 1,000 or trillion times brighter than the sun. If you turn your eyes towards the sun, you may see a bright circle, and you can make out that it's that circle up there in the sky that is from where this light is coming. But in Krishna's case, all you just see is this dazzling, eye-piercing, blinding light. And there is no idea that one gets as to who is behind it. And this point is made in the Sri Ishopanishad. Therefore, those who approach the Lord without bhakti, they think Bhagavan is just light. So that's because they don't see where or what is the source of that light. And that's alluded to over here. Arjuna is not a non-bhakta. He is full of bhakti. Therefore, he knows who is behind. And therefore, he's saying it's difficult to see. But he knows it. So your form is difficult to see because of its glaring effulgence, spreading on all sides like blazing fire or the immeasurable radiance of the sun. Yet I see this glowing form everywhere, adorned with various crowns, clubs, and discs. You are the 18. You are the supreme primal objective. You are the ultimate resting place of all this universe. You are inexhaustible and you are the oldest. You are the maintainer of eternal religion, the personality of Godhead. This is my opinion. 19, the last one. So all this is Arjuna's vision of the universe. Okay. You are without origin, middle, or end. Your glory is unlimited. You have numberless arms, and the sun and moon are your eyes. I see you with blazing fire coming forth from your mouth, burning this entire universe by your own radiance. So the universe is getting burned. So next 4 verses, 20 to 23, are the effects on the universe. Although you are one, you spread throughout the sky and the planets and all space between. So this is the non-dual form, the effulgent form, the effulgence of the Lord. O great one, seeing this wondrous and terrible form, all the planetary systems are perturbed. So that is what is happening to the universe. The planetary systems are getting perturbed. 21. All the hosts of demigods are surrendering before you and entering into you. Some of them, very much afraid, are offering prayers with folded hands. Hosts of great sages and perfected beings, crying all peace, are praying to you by singing the Vedic hymns. So we see the effect on the various planetary systems in the previous verse. We see the effects on the demigods and the sages. 22. All the various manifestations of Lord Shiva, the Adityas, the Vasus, the Sadhyas, the Vishwadevas, the 2 Ashvis, the Maruts, the forefathers, the Gandharvas, the Yakshas, the Asuras, and the perfected demigods are beholding you in wonder. So, again, the effects on the various celestial personalities. Last one. O mighty armed one, all the planets with their demigods are disturbed at seeing your great form, with its many faces, eyes, arms, thighs, legs, and bellies, and your many terrible teeth. And as they are disturbed, so am I. So Arjuna is getting disturbed now. So all these various demigods, etc., are getting disturbed. And so Arjuna is also getting disturbed. Now he's going to continue with his description of his disturbance. 24 and 25 is the effect on Arjuna. O all-pervading Vishnu, seeing you with your many radiant colors touching the sky, your gaping mouths, and your great glowing eyes, my mind is perturbed by fear. I can no longer maintain my steadiness or equilibrium of mind. So he's kind of losing it. O 25, O Lord of Lords, O refuge of the worlds, please be gracious to me. I cannot keep my balance, seeing thus your blazing death-like faces and awful teeth. In all directions, I am bewildered. So Arjuna is completely regretting at this point why he made this request, as you can see. He's saying, I'm losing it pretty much. I cannot keep my balance and I am bewildered. And what else is bewildering him? Last 5 verses of Arjuna's vision of the battlefield. So I'll switch back to this. All the sons of Dhritarashtra, along with their allied kings and Bhishma, Drona, Karna, and our chief soldiers also, from both sides basically, are rushing into your fearful mouths. And some I see trapped with heads smashed between your teeth. 28. As the many waves of the rivers flow into the ocean, so do all these great warriors enter blazing into your mouths. Not just one mouth, many mouths. I see all people rushing full speed into your mouths, as moths dash to destruction in a blazing fire. So remember, this is a material description or description of the material world. And what this is describing is the death of living entities. Okay? Devotees are not afraid of death. They embrace death. And the demons are afraid of death. All demons are afraid of death. In the Shastras, we see that the demons are, the Ravana's situation was not that of being in equilibrium. In Ambarish Maharaja's case, Durvasa Muni was very afraid of death when the Sudarshan Chakra was chasing him. But the devotees are they also face death. All devotees have to die, but they are not afraid of death. They embrace death because they know that they are going to see the Supreme Lord after death. So it is a very welcome thing for the devotees. So the point here is that death comes to everyone, including Bhishma. Why I'm saying this is because Bhishma is also mentioned, and Bhishma is a great, great devotee. Okay, so that was 29. Last verse in the description of the battlefield. O Vishnu, I see you devouring all people from all sides with your flaming mouths. Covering all the universe with your effulgence, you are manifest with terrible, scorching rays. So that is the end of Arjuna's description. And now Arjuna thinks that even though he thought that he understood everything, he had no doubts, he has a major doubt. So let's hear what Arjuna's doubt is. So he's asking, O Lord of Lords, so fierce of form, please tell me who you are. So that's the first thing. Who are you? So it's like pretty much saying, I don't know at all. Who are you? It's not just one small doubt. It's a pretty major doubt. I offer my obeisances unto you. Please be gracious to me. You are the primal Lord. I want to know about you. So he wants to know who he is. He wants to know about him. For I do not know what your mission is. And that's the third thing. He wants to know what Bhagavan's mission is. Why has he come here? So Bhagavan had described his mission in the 4th chapter, Paritranaya Sadhunam, Vinashaya Chadushkritam, and Dharma Sansthapanataya. These are the 3 missions of Bhagavan: to please the devotees, to destroy the demons, and to establish Dharma. So he will say here similar things, but mainly in the domain of destroying the demons. So Lord Krishna is revealing his mission now, and that is this small section, and a very important point will be described here. Become my instrument. We will see that. Okay. So I'll go back maybe just to the slide and leave it there. So 32, the Supreme Personality of Godhead said. So remember, 3 things were asked by Arjuna. What were the 3 things? Who are you? Right? More details. I want to know more about you. And what is your mission? So he answers those questions. Time I am, the great destroyer of worlds. And I have come here to destroy all people. So that's time I am. So in this, again, the Lord reveals to the extent the devotee wants to know. So in this context, Lord Krishna is answering, I am time. Also, I am the destroyer. And what is the mission? I have come to destroy all the people. All the people means all of them except the Pandavas for now. With the exception of you, the Pandavas, all the soldiers here on both sides will be slain. Now comes an important verse. What tells you that this verse is important?
Tasmat.
Tasmat, very nice. So any verse with tasmat is important. Therefore, tasmat tam tvam uttishtha yasho labhasva. So therefore get up, prepare to fight and win glory. So again, Arjuna is now more or less clear that he needs to fight the battle, but still Krishna is answering not just about the fighting the battle, but that internal question about Arjuna is not just whether to fight or not, but his attachment. It goes back to chapter 1. Why? What was the root cause he was hesitating to fight? And the root cause was his strong attachment to Bhishma and Drona. That was the number 1 cause of his unwillingness to fight the battle, because he knows that he needs to kill them. It's going to be one or the other. Either he's going to die at their hands, there's nobody else who can kill him, and there's nobody else who can kill them other than Arjuna. And he would either much rather prefer to die at their hands, but killing them is completely unimaginable. So Lord Krishna is preparing Arjuna for this. He's saying, except for you, Pandavas, everybody. So indirectly he's saying Drona and Bhishma. And next verse, he will take their names also. Just in case if you had any doubt, Drona and Bhishma are going to die. So he's saying, conquer your enemies and enjoy a flourishing kingdom. And here comes the important point. Mayai vete nihata purvameva. That they are already put to death by my arrangement. Okay, so this future has been set already. Nimitta matram bhava savyasachin. You just become my instrument. They are already put to death by my arrangement, and you, O Savyasachi, can be but an instrument in the fight. So Lord Krishna is directly inviting Arjuna. This is a very important point to understand, that Lord Krishna is inviting Arjuna to be an instrument in the Lord's mission. It's no longer Arjuna's mission. Arjuna asked Krishna, what is your mission? That was the question in 31. If you turn back your page, you will see. What is your mission? And Krishna is clearly saying his mission. I want these people dead. Okay. Now the question is whether we want to go along with Krishna's wish or we want to go against Krishna's wish. That is all the question that there is. So Krishna is directly inviting Arjuna. This will happen. My plan is already in motion and nobody can change my plan. We also say Krishna's plan is bigger, better, and more sure, more certain than our plan. So Krishna's plan cannot be changed. It will happen. The question is, if we'll be happy, if we want to be happy, better align yourself with Krishna's plan. If you oppose Krishna's plan, that's your free will, no problem, but you will be miserable in the time being. And Krishna is saying, hey, the smart thing to do is to align yourself with my plan. It will happen. You want to be part of it? Come on, welcome aboard. You don't want to be part of the plan? Okay, no problem. It will still go on. So that is the point. And when we understand that, our life will become very happy. So the trick is first to understand what is Krishna's plan. We try a lot to change that plan. So the important point is to understand what is Krishna's plan. Then next thing is to align ourselves. For devotees or practicing devotees, the second part is generally easier. But the biggest question remains, what is Krishna's plan? We try to keep doing things our way. And it is true, Krishna doesn't come and tell us what is his plan. Here he is telling right in the face of Arjuna that here is my plan. Everybody will be killed except for you 5 Pandavas. You want to be part of my plan? Welcome. So Arjuna is lucky in that sense. He's a great devotee, so he's lucky, or he's entitled to that favor. So we must try to understand Krishna's plan through study of Shastra and through our sadhana. So Shravana and Kirtana, the stronger, the more high quality that will be, the better we will be able to understand Krishna's plan, and we will be able to then align with it. And aligning is harder when it is against our desires. But for devotees who are strong devotees, I would say that it is easier to give up. For them, it is easier to give up. Okay, if Krishna wants this, I'll give it up. Even though I didn't want that, it's okay. Fine. Krishna's desire is more important for me than my own desire. So I'll give it up. But how to understand what is Krishna's desire? So one thing I will say here, now first, the one aspect is deep absorption in Shastra. We can begin to understand how Krishna thinks. Okay. Another point is the following. Ultimately, what Krishna wants is our progress in bhakti. And many times, if you put this litmus test, that this particular desire that I have is not really aligned with my bhakti or my progress in bhakti, still we want it. So that is a very clear, in many cases, it's a very clear indication that we can give it up. Settle for something less. Don't do over endeavor. Prayasha. Atyaharaha prayasascha prajalpo niyamagraha. So, jana sanghascha laulyam cha shadbhir bhakti vinashyati. Second verse of Upadeshamrit. So, this is prayas. Prayas means ati prayas. Atyahar, ati ahar. But the word ati applies to remaining 5 also. Ati ahar, ati prayas. So, extra endeavor, over endeavor. Too much trying. What that means? Okay, if you have a particular desire, you try. Krishna, I will tell you, if he doesn't want it to happen, he will give an indication. He will make it go south in ways you cannot imagine. You did everything. He will not manifest the result. You will say, I did everything. If you know you lacked, that's your problem. So this is a key difference. Many people blame everything on Krishna. They will be lazy. They will be, jerks. And they will say Krishna's desire. So they are too much. They are too sure of Krishna's desire, whereas it is their fault. So that is not the right mood either. The point is, after having done your best, that is the key point. You do your best and leave everything, or for everything else, leave the rest to Krishna. So you do your best and you will see it doesn't materialize. Then you can know that it is Krishna's desire to not make it happen. You again do your best, maybe 2 times. 2 times is enough. Again, you will see Krishna will foil the plan. Then you can be 100% sure Krishna doesn't want it. And of course, this is only for devotees. Okay? For those who are not practicing serious devotion, it's karma. Karma, it means you're not entitled to get it. But for devotees, Krishna can give anything. For Sudama, he gave a big palace. He was such a poor Brahman. So Krishna can give anything to anyone. But to devotees, he can give anything to anyone, but to devotees, he gives. But sometimes when he knows that it is not favorable for us, even after the devotee has done his best, that is the key criteria. You should be clear in your heart, I did my best. You cannot be a lazy idiot and then say it is Krishna's fault. So that is the key difference. And everybody knows. Look in your heart, everybody knows whether you did your best or not. Okay? Everybody knows that. And in spite of that, when the result does not manifest, then it is possible that Krishna does not want it to happen. And then you can align yourself to the opposite outcome. You want a particular job. You wanted to get into a particular college. You wanted to get a green card. You wanted this. You want that. You want that. You want your child to be a particular way. You did everything for your child or whatever, but still, whatever, there's fights. You're being very nice to your mother-in-law, but mother-in-law is still, being a jerk. Whatever it is, but in your heart, if you know that I have done my best, then you treat it as Krishna's plan to make us better devotees. Align to it. Align to the opposite outcome. Settle for the less, because that less is actually more for our bhakti. It may be less materially, it will turn out to be more for bhakti, for our progress. So that is the meaning. So here Arjuna could have taken the easy way out. They already stayed 13 years in forest. They can spend the rest of their life in forest also. No problem doing their bhajan. That is the easy way out for the Pandavas. Arjuna is realizing, I did my best preparation, everything. At the end of it, I want to take the easy way out, not fight. Krishna wants me to fight, so he's taking the hard way. I will fight. I will align with your desire. So that is the point to be understood. This is a very important lesson here, that we must align ourselves with Krishna's desire if we know it. And I have hopefully described somewhat as to how to know what is Krishna's desire. 34. Drona, Bhishma, Jayadratha, Karna, and the other great warriors have already been destroyed by me. So here he is giving the names of everyone that Arjuna is going to kill, okay? So he's naming everyone. So of course, Arjuna has no problem in killing Jayadratha and Karna, but Bhishma and Drona are the first ones named. Dronam cha Bhishmam cha. So he's saying, my dear friend, my buddy, bro, as children say, bro, got to roll up your sleeves and get ready. This is my wish. Either you can go against it, fine, or you can align yourself with it. Therefore, kill them and do not be disturbed. Directly, Krishna is saying, simply fight and you will vanquish your enemies in battle. So, Lord Krishna is not mincing any words. He is not putting any icing on the cake. He is not sugarcoating the message. He is being very direct with Arjuna. All right. So that is become my instrument section. Next section is Arjuna's prayers. So that also has 4 subsections: glorification, obeisances, apology, and request. This is taken from Chaitanya Charan Prabhu's description. So he has done a lot of deep meditation on Bhagavad Gita, and I have taken this division of this thing from his slides or from his classes. So these 11 verses, 12 verses rather, 11, I think 36 to 46, 11, are the prayers by Arjuna, Arjuna's prayers. So glorification. So the first is glorification of Sri Krishna. So here we see another picture where the focus is on Arjuna. Prayers to Krishna. So many important points to be learned from the prayers of Arjuna. 36. So glorification. Arjuna said, "O master of the senses, the world becomes joyful upon hearing your name, and thus everyone becomes attached to you. Although the perfected beings offer you their respectful homage, the demons are afraid and they flee here and there. All this is rightly done." So, glorifying Krishna and being attached to Krishna, being attached to hearing the glories of Krishna, being attached to the glories of Krishna. 37. O great one, greater even than Brahma, you are the original creator. Why then should they not offer their respectful obeisances unto you? O limitless one, God of gods, refuge of the universe, you are the invincible source, the cause of all causes, transcendental to this material manifestation. So now glorification is continuing. So first, everybody is being attached to you by hearing your glories. Next is that you are the cause of all causes, which means Arjuna is confirming that you are at the topmost of the hierarchy, even higher than Brahmaji. So Brahma is considered to be the lord of all the devatas, and he is even higher. Krishna is even higher than Brahma. Last one, in glorification of Krishna, 38. You are the original personality of Godhead, the oldest, the ultimate sanctuary of this manifested cosmic world. You are the knower of everything, and you are all that is knowable. You are the supreme refuge above the material modes. O limitless form, this whole cosmic manifestation is pervaded by you. Again, you will see the glorification is completely in the mode of aishvarya, of glorifying the great God, not the sweet Lord, but the great, big, powerful creator, the Father, the powerful Father of everyone. Then knowing this, so you can see the change in mood of Arjuna. So this is a very important revelation or understanding we get from Arjuna's prayers, that accepting Krishna as the charioteer, chariot driver, okay, is not a... since childhood we have grown and seen these pictures of Bhagavad Gita. Arjuna is sitting in the back as the sort of the master, and Krishna is sitting as the chariot driver, like a servant. So, and it has normalized in our mind. But if you think about it, Krishna is the Supreme Lord and Arjuna is a living entity. How can a living entity ask the Supreme Lord to become the driver or become a servant. It is not possible. That is only possible when there is a loving relationship between them. And the relationship between Arjuna and Krishna is Sakhya Bhav. And he is considered to be the topmost Sakhya, a perfected Sakhya. How we know that? By the statement of Sri Rupa Goswami. In the Navadha Bhakti section in Padyavali, there is a verse where Sri Rupa Goswami gives 9 personalities who have perfected each of the limbs of Bhakti, the 9 limbs of Bhakti. And for Sakhya, Sri Rupa Goswami mentions Arjuna. That Arjuna is the one who has perfected the mood of Sakhya or friendship of Bhagawan, being a friend of Bhagawan, doing Bhakti in the mood of being a friend. Okay, so Arjuna is considered a very top class example of being a friend, and it's a sweet friendship. Friendship means you can say anything to a friend. You can even punch him once in a while, and still with no fear that he will abandon you, and be ready to be punched in return, and then go and laugh about it. That is friendship. So that is the mood, and in that mood it is possible to ask Krishna to be your driver. I have asked my friend, "Arey yaar, aaj bahut sir dard ho raha hai, tu gaadi chala." Even though it was my turn, I was, "Arey tu chala yaar." Like that, some very, very nice, friendly way we can say in Hindi. I don't know if you don't understand Hindi. It's just like a very casual, friendly way of saying, "Hey, buddy, you do it, man. I knew it was my turn, but come on, suck it up." So like that. However, upon realizing this aishvarya form, there is only one possible mood. There is only one possible mood, and that is of Dasya, of servitude. And that too, servitude not out of love. Love is there, but the predominant feeling is of duty, is of gratitude. Service out of gratitude and service out of love are two different things. Gratitude is kind of in the middle. So there is duty, number 3, and there is love, number 1. In the middle, there is gratitude. So it's kind of like that. But if you think about it, gratitude and duty is the mood that arises when you realize the greatness of Bhagawan. Love is not there. Service in love means like that of Hanumanji. He is considered like in the same verse by Sri Rupa Goswami, Hanumanji exemplifies Dasya bhava, but he's not doing it out of duty for Bhagavan or gratitude. What has Bhagavan Ram done for Hanuman? Tell me one thing. He has done a lot for Sugriva. Okay. So in that sense, he has done something for Bhagavan, for Hanuman, because Hanuman was a servant of Sugriva. What has Ram done for Hanuman in the whole of Ramayana? Tell me one thing. Anybody can say? What personal benefit Hanuman got? By Sugriv got his wife, right? So many things other people have got. What did Hanuman get?
Only hugging.
Bhagwan's company.
Hugging. Hug.
Yeah, so those are okay. Yeah, true. Hugging, bhakti, love, embrace. But Hanuman doesn't even have a wife. He has no children. He's just he's just a pure and always ready to serve Bhagavan in love, purely out of love for Shri Ram. So that mood of Dasya is different. It's not out of the greatness of Lord Ram. It's out of love for Lord Ram. But an important point that is being shown here is that when one realizes the greatness of Bhagavan, the only mood that one exhibits, or naturally the one that arises from inside, is that of servitude in the mood of duty or gratitude. And that is what is the state of Arjuna now. It's very clear from his verses. Very clear. And there's a complete shift that happens from the 9th and 10th chapters to the 11th chapter after seeing this great form of Krishna, where he even acknowledges, I don't even know who you are. I thought I knew everything about you. And now I'm realizing I know nothing about you. So this shift is very important to realize. And therefore, it is said, again, I'm connecting it to the Vrajvasis, this is known as Rasabhas. So when one is in the mood of that loving Dasya, Sakhya, Vatsalya, Madhurya, this in the 10th canto of Srimad Bhagavatam, it is injected periodically like a medicine. Mother Yashoda sees in the mouth of Krishna and she faints. Okay. And similarly, these gopas, elder gopas, they get this thought in their mind and they dismiss it. And all that is false. So like this, and in many other cases, they see all these wonderful activities of Krishna, which kind of give them a sense that who is this person? And they completely, that Rasabhas is there in almost every place and always the sweet rasa wins. Because there is that sweetness, and we will see that towards the end of this chapter where Arjuna says, too much. I really want to get back to seeing your sweet form. That one is really the best. So this whole aspect is coming in this of 10th canto Bhagavatam is coming in the 11th chapter of Bhagavad Gita as well. So there were several hands raised and then they went down because probably I just kept talking. So if anybody still has questions or comments, please raise your hands or just speak. I saw Ragatmika Mataji and who else? Shamlila Mataji's hand. Medha Mataji, I think, raised her hand. Makrant Prabhu, I can't remember if you raised. So now is the time. Okay, yes. Rajvidya Prabhu, Ragatmika Mataji. Go ahead.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji, just request to repeat that reference of Rupa Goswami, which you were referring to Padyavali, is it?
Yes. You're putting me on the spot right now.
53 number, Prabhuji.
Yeah, okay, I knew you would know. Shamlila Mataji has read the Padyavali nicely. 53.
In my text, it is 53, Prabhuji, to start with Sri Vrishno Shravani.
Yes, actually it is in the Sri Bhakti Rasamrita Sindhu as well. Can you find that verse, Shamlila Mataji?
Ji, Prabhuji.
So it's in the BRS as well, and she will let us know shortly. Yeah, very nice verse. And yeah. Okay. So that is the mood. So you should see this aishvarya mood in Arjuna's voice. Try to hear that mood in Arjuna's voice. 39. Okay. You are, so no, wait. Yeah. One sec, I lost my numbers. Yeah, 39 and 40 are obeisances. So 39. You are air, you are the supreme controller, you are fire, you are water, you are the moon. You are Brahma, the first living creature, and you are the great grandfather. I therefore offer my respectful obeisances unto you 1,000 times and again and yet again. So he is offering obeisances to the Lord so many times, again, out of a feeling of complete gratitude and duty and in complete awareness of Lord's greatness. Awareness of Lord's greatness, okay? Number 40. Obeisances to you from the front, from behind, and from all sides. O unbounded power, you are the master of limitless might. You are all pervading, and thus you are everything. So he's praising the Lord's limitlessness, his might. He's everything. There's nothing sweet. I mean, you can say it is sweet, but it is all about sweetness due to the greatness. Okay. So basically, it is the greatness that is being glorified, not the sweetness, or not the sweetness without greatness. You found it, Mataji, yet or not?
Not yet, Prabhuji. Looking for it. 1 second.
Okay, maybe, let me think. It must be around
200s में होगा, Prabhuji?
yes, after the 64 limbs.
जी.
You can look for the word kapipati. Kapipati is referring to Hanuman ji.
जी, Prabhuji, I'll look for it.
Okay. Or you can look for Badarayana. In Kirtana, Badarayana means the son of
Shukdev Goswami.
Dev Goswami is Badarayana. So,
जी, Prabhuji.
or Badarayani. So, yeah. All right. 41 and 42, apology. Okay. So, Hanumanji doesn't apologize to Lord Sri Ram. So, apology, glorifying the power, all this is coming out of aishvarya. So, this is pure aishvarya bhava. So, apology for being a sakhya. Classic Rasabhasa. You know, Rasabhasa means like a conflict of rasa. So, oh, I was a friend. That was so wrong. I was your friend. How can I be your friend? I am your servant. You are the great God. How can this tiny little living entity be your friend? That was wrong. That is, in other words, it's just clear conflict of rasa or rasabhas. So you declare the other one to be wrong. Even though in the beginning he says, you become my driver. Hey, chal sale, mera gadi chala. Like that, you know. So like kind of I just said in Hindi, like a slang. Hey, dude, come on. You do it. I'm too tired to do. And now he's apologizing for behaving that way. So 41 and 42. Thinking of you as my friend, I have rashly addressed you. Rashly addressed you. Okay. As, hey Krishna, that is the thing. Hey Yadava, hey Sakheti. Hey Sakheti is now being wrong. Oh my friend, hey Sakha. This thing, I was wrong in calling you Sakha. Oh Krishna, oh Yadava, oh my friend, not knowing your glories. So see, not knowing the glories is actually a key aspect of Sakhya Bhav, or one of the sweet moods, whether it is Vatsalya or Sakhya. You must not know the glories. Now you know the glories, that whole thing vanishes. And that is the dichotomy of 10th canto. Please forgive whatever I may have done in madness or in love. He's asking forgiveness for being loving, you know, as if being in loving mood is a crime or a fault or an offense. I have dishonored you many times. And how has he dishonored? We will see. Jesting as we relaxed. Matlab jokes. So jokes is wrong. Lay on the same bed. So sleeping on the same bed or sleeping on top of each other or whatever, putting your foot on each other is bad. Ate together, sat or ate together. You're not supposed to eat together. You're supposed to, in fact, eat afterwards, and that too the remnants. How can you eat together? Sometimes alone and sometimes in front of many friends, that too in front of others. What will they think? I made you look small in front of others. O infallible one, please excuse me for all those offenses. So very sweet prayers are being recited by Arjuna, which is showing the sort of the tension between aishvarya and sakhya.
Prabhuji, is there a parallel to Sudama's feelings when he realized Krishna's aishvarya?
So Sudama is away. His case is little more complex. So we will actually, you give me a nice idea. We might cover Sudama after this. That is also a very nice pastime, which not borderlines, or rather, not border. That's the wrong way. It walks on this border of Sakhya and Aishwarya. So we will discuss the deeper aspects of Sudama. Maybe I just thank you for giving me the idea. Very soon we will. I had another chapter after this one, Varun Dev, but we might go to Sudama soon, very soon. Very nice chapter. No, but Sudama is not in Aishwarya bhava at all. Okay, that's the short answer. He is bordering Sakhya and Dasya. Okay, there is no Aishwarya there. I have dishonored you many times, jesting as we read this, laying on the same bed, sat or ate together, sometimes alone and sometimes in front of many friends. O infallible one, please excuse me for all those offenses. 41 and 42. Okay, that is, apology continues actually. You are the father of this complete cosmic manifestation of the moving and the non-moving. You are its worshipable chief, the supreme spiritual master. No one is equal to you, nor can anyone be one with you. How then could there be anyone greater than you within the three worlds, O Lord of immeasurable power? So all are points of glory or aishwarya of Bhagavan. Last one, again, tasmat, therefore, very important word, 44. You are the supreme Lord to be worshipped by every living being. So this is the conclusion for the aishwarya bhava. So those in the aishwarya of Bhagavan, have this mood or have this instruction. What they should do? To be worshipped by every living being. Thus I fall down to offer you my respectful obeisances. So one should fall down and to the Supreme Lord. One should worship. And third thing, ask for your mercy. What will you ask from the great God? You can't demand. You can't even make a request. All you can do is put your application for mercy. If it arrives, it arrives. When it will arrive, if it will arrive, you have no control. There is no ETA, there is no SLA. ETA means expected time of arrival. SLA means, what does it mean? Service level agreement or whatever, like within 3 days, we will get back to you. Not even that. You just put your yachana, your application, reply comes, great, doesn't come, great. That is called mercy. So depend on mercy. And then he says, as a father tolerates the impudence of his son. Now, this is not a father like a loving father. It's a strict father. So in that sense, it is great. This is known as palya bhava, not vatsalya. Opposite of vatsalya is palya bhava. It's not considered one of the rasas by Sri Rupa Goswami. Palya bhava means when one considers oneself to be the son of Bhagawan. Vatsalya means when one considers one to be the parent of Bhagawan. That is sweet. Son of Bhagawan means you expect. What does a son get from father? All nice things. Right? So that is not a mood within the Gaudiya Vaishnava Sampradaya. But here he's saying that I want to be in the Palya bhava, means like a son. Just forgive me. I'm like a spoiled child. Father tolerates all the nonsense of a spoiled child. So he wants to be a spoiled, or he's saying, please just consider me like a spoiled child and forgive me. As a father tolerates the impudence of his son, a friend of the impertinence of a friend, or a husband the familiarity of his wife, please tolerate the wrongs I may have done to you. Okay, so that is the request of Arjuna for Sri Krishna to a complete change of mood has occurred. Okay, all right. So I don't want to start a whole new section here. Okay, looks like she found it, 265. Yeah.
Krishna, thank you, Mataji. Thank you, Prabhuji.
Yeah, I can share this. 1 to 265, and I might have it in my slides. Very nice verse, and then we can end the class there. The next whole section, which is we'll just maybe go over 45 and 46 if there are no questions, and then 47 to 55 we will do next time, because that is a very important section. Yes, what is the question, Raj Vidya Prabhu? You raised your hand.
Yes, Hare Krishna, Prabhuji. The question is from chapter 9. If you can allow me to ask that.
Yeah, go ahead.
So I was answering that question that you have put on the assignment 9.4 and 5, the contradictions and the resolution of the contradiction. And I had written one answer, but then I was watching a video of Maharaj recently on Prahlad Maharaj's prayers, and he has explained 9.4 and 5, and he is given a resolution which is based on achintya bhed abhed tattva. I'm not very, I have heard that video, Maharaj's video twice or thrice, but I'm not very clear with that. If you can elaborate on achintya bhed abhed tattva, because that helps resolve the, and I think there was elements of that discussion today also. So hopefully, I think that continues that in everything and is everything. That is what this bhed abhed tattva is talking about. So if you can elaborate that would be very helpful.
Yes. So anyway, so this is 264 is the navadha bhakti, the aneka anga bhakti is being described here. Shravanam, Kirtanam, Vishnu, Smaranam, Padasevanam, Archanam, Vandanam, Dasyam, Sakyam, Atma Nivedanam. And then the next, so this is the verse from Srimad Bhagavatam by Sri Prahlad Maharaj. And then Sri Rupa Goswami has composed this verse, Padyavali 53, BRS 1.2.265. And then he says, Shri Vishnu Shravane Parikshid. Okay, and then Abhavad. So it is not Badarayani, it is Vayasakihi. So both are names of Sri Shukadev Goswami. So Vayasakihi Kirtane. So Parikshid for Shravan, Shukadev Goswami ji for Kirtan, Prahlad for Smaran, and then next comes Padasevanam, which is Tad Angri Bhajana. Angri means lotus feet, is Mother Lakshmi. And then comes Archana. Archana means Pujana, and Pujana is Prithu Maharaj. And then Vandana means prayers. So Abhivandane, that is prayer. Nice Abhivandana means sweet prayers by Akrurji. Kapi Patir Dasya. So Kapi Pati means the best among monkeys. So that is Hanumanji Dasya. And then Sakhya Arjuna. So Sakhya is Arjuna. And then Sarvasva Atma Nivedane. So Sarvasva Atma Nivedanam is Bali Maharaj. He completely surrendered himself. Atma Nivedanam means do whatever you want to me. I am at your disposal. Do whatever you want to me, is Bali Maharaj. So these are the 9 examples of who exemplified these 9 limbs of bhakti. Okay, so this is Ek Anga Bhakti. Okay, so that was that reference. Okay, next question was, what is Achintya Bhed Abhed Tattva? So that is it's not easy to understand, but that 9.4, 5 and 6 are direct examples of Achintya Bhed Abhed Tattva in Bhagavad Gita. So Achintya Bhed Abhed Tattva, what does it mean? So Abhed Tattva. Abhed Tattva means that there is no difference. No difference between whom and whom? Between Jiva and Bhagavan. So they say there is no difference between Jiva and Bhagavan. So they are the Advaitavadis. Okay, those who are following the philosophy that there is no difference, Abhed or Advaita, there is no or non-dualism, no two, nothing is two, everything is one. Then there is Bheda or Dvaitya, Dvaityavad, Advaitavad and Dvaitavad. So Dvaitavad or Bheda is that there is difference. Okay. So both are at least straightforward to understand. They are direct. Either we are all one, me and Bhagavan are one, and all other living entities and all, we are all one. Everything is one. This pen and myself is also one, because this is also made of, ultimately this is made of Brahman. I am also made of Brahman. I am Brahman, this pen is Brahman, Bhagavan is Brahman, everything is, Shabda is Brahman, everything is Brahman. So that is Abheda. Everything is different. Okay, this pen is different, I am different, you are different, Bhagavan is different. That is Bheda. The third is, there is simultaneous oneness and difference. Now this becomes very complicated. So far, at least it was already complicated, but at least it was something little bit understandable. Now we say it is simultaneous oneness and difference. That's like quantum mechanics, superimposition of states. The cat is dead and alive at the same time, that famous Schrodinger's cat paradox. How can the cat, either the cat is alive at any point of time or it is dead? How can the cat be dead and alive at the same time? And therefore it becomes achintya. Achintya means impossible to understand, or another word is inconceivable. So inconceivable, simultaneous oneness and difference. And the way to understand, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu has explained in Chaitanya Charitamrita, and Srila Prabhupada has explained everywhere in Bhagavad Gita and everywhere, that oneness of quality and non-oneness or duality, or whatever you can say, difference in quantity. That is how we understand. And that's what we have discussed from the very beginning of Bhagavad Gita also, that we are qualitatively one with Bhagavan. We are all spirit souls, but quantitatively there is a huge difference. We discussed it even today. And so that's a simplified way of understanding Bheda Abheda together. Qualitative oneness, quantitative difference. I hope that's not too hard to understand, right? But there are complexities involved and it becomes achintya. Achintya means impossible or very hard to understand. And that is also there in 9.4. What does 9.4? If you go back and review the video, what does it say? It says that Maya tatam idam sarvam jagat avyakta murtina matsthani sarva bhutani na chaham teshu avasthitaha. That all beings are in me, but I am not in them. And next verse says, Na cha matsthani bhutani. Previous verse says, Matsthani sarva bhutani. And then he adds a na in the next verse. Arey, which one is it? With the na or without the na? How can both be true? Right? So he's saying two opposite things in these two verses. I am inside everything, and everything is inside me. Think about it. I am inside everything, right? If something is inside everything, if let's say something is inside the box, how can the box be inside that person? Not possible, right? You are inside the room. Is the room inside you? No. But Bhagavan is saying, I am inside the room and the room is inside me. So that is simultaneous existence of two opposites. Okay? Simultaneous existence of two opposites is called achintya bhed abhed. Like simultaneously the cat is dead and alive. Is it possible? In normal understanding, it's not possible. But that is the famous paradox of quantum mechanics. So even science is coming close to achintya bheda bheda in one sense. Anyway, so hopefully that answers your question. The
Yes,
connection between achintya bheda bhed, what it is, and connection to 9.4 and 9.5. Does it help?
That is how we are going to overcome that contradictions in the 9.45, right?
No,
The answer to the part of the question where it asks, where you are asking is, how do you overcome the contradictions?
You overcome. That is next line. Na matsthani bhutani pashyame agameshwaram. That is how we overcome, not overcome, resolve the contradiction. Pashyame yogameshwaram means we as devotees don't try to resolve it. We just become happy on knowing our God is full of contradictions. Our God is so great that contradictions are also included within him. अरे भाई हमारे भगवान इतने महान हैं कि वो मतलब महान के भी बाप हैं. मतलब इतने महान हैं कि मतलब समझ में ही नहीं आता कितने महान हैं. You cannot understand how great he is. Another way to understand it is that if a God can be fully understood, then how is he God? If he is really God, that means not being able to understand him should also be part of him. Isn't it? Some mysticism, some mind-bogglingness should also be part of God. Only then he will be God, right? So what we can do about it? How can we untangle the mind-bogglingness? Not possible, right? It's inconceivable. If inconceivable is made conceivable, it is no longer inconceivable. So it stays inconceivable, we just relish it. Pashyame yogameshwaram. That is the resolution for devotees. For non-devotees, they can keep struggling. We don't have anything to do with that. They can keep struggling. And that is why people say, Bhagavad Gita too complex. Khao piyo mast raho.
And that is a numinous realization or knowledge. This realization that our God is so great that these dichotomy or this
Yes,
And,
dichotomies exist.
yeah, these
Paradoxes exist.
paradoxes exist.
Hmm.
This is what we in chapter 7 we called numinous realization. Is that it?
So, numinous and phenomenal means theoretical and practical.
Okay. So this is, we are saying this is beyond practical.
No, this is practical means what you should do practically. Practically, you rejoice and relish Bhagwan's mysticism. Don't try to figure out the mysticism. When you go to see magic show, you don't generally try to figure out how he did the trick. You pay the ticket, you see the magic trick, you become happy and you come out. Yes, you also have this curiosity, hey, how did he do it? But he will never tell, and that's not a question that you are supposed to ask either. All the fun will go away. All right.
Thank you, Hare Krishna. Prabhuji.
And if you cannot understand fully and if you still have a doubt, then you are in the right place. That is the whole point. Don't feel sad about the doubt. Relish that your wonderful Krishna has all these doubts or presents all these doubts. And that is also part of 10th canto. How can God steal? How can God do so many sketchy or questionable activities? He does so many questionable activities. So that is part of his inconceivability. Okay. Yes, Shalu Mataji, you raised your hand.
It's not important, Prabhuji. It's just one thought that came to my mind, that we are also like living and dying at the same time, because some cells are ours are always dying and new are always getting formed.
Yeah, life is full of mysticism. What to speak of all this biology and physics and quantum mechanics? We can't even understand our husband, wife, and all that. They behave, we think we understand, and then they show different side. I thought I knew them, then you say, this guy is too much. So we are all
Unpredictability, Prabhuji.
inconceivability, yes.
Yeah, sense of life.
We are all little Krishnas. All right. Okay. Anything else? Okay, then we will stop here. Thank you so much. So next Friday, whether we have class or not, I cannot say, but we will hold class soon. Watch out for the announcements, and we will meet soon and complete 11th chapter. Then 12th chapter will be done. Get ready for test once again and homeworks and all that. So please start memorizing the verses. For those doing Bhakti Shastri, 7 to 12 has maximum number of memorization verses. So if there is any break in between of classes, please use the time to complete your homework and memorize the verses. Lot of points for verse memorization portion. Okay. And homework submission is mandatory. So that is a, you have to do that to get the degree. So please use the time to finish off all these things. Of course, in the meantime, learn from it as well. The purpose is to learn, not to get degree. But again, for some people, the degree becomes the forcing function. So be it. So anyway, please utilize the time and we will see you next week, hopefully. Otherwise, watch out for the announcements. Thank you very much. Srimad Bhagavad Gita ki jai. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Thank you.
Thank you, Prabhuji. Thank you, Mataji. Hare Krishna.
Thank you, Prabhu. Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Thank you, Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji.